Hey guys, it's Kristen, and I'm starting my FantasyAthon reading vlog. Today's April 5th, day 1 of the 10-day fantasy reading. I am still reading Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I am in the 4th of the 5 novellas that are in this book, and I have about 160 pages total left. I plan to read at least a majority of that today because it was due to my library yesterday. The next book is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Seanan McGuire. And then lastly, just in case I feel like I need to do something else, I will probably start City of Ember by Jean Dupre, because this is the book I'm reading with my high schoolers for my high school book club, and I have to read 100 pages by Tuesday to be caught up with them. So that's my plan. I don't know how much time I'll have to read, but I'm gonna try. So it's later in the day. I have done all the things that I talked about doing earlier. We had Girl Scouts. My husband got home. We had dinner out. I finished the Assassin's Blade. I had 160 pages left. I'm surprised I got that much reading done because I really didn't read all that much. It must have just kind of flown in the end. I liked it a lot. I was talking to my friend who had read it already, and I said, I heard people at the end of this book end up loving a certain character and that they didn't really care for before. And she was like, maybe. And sure enough, I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Made me cry at points. I wish there was more I could read about that specific character. But alas, there's not. So, we're home. We're going to have some time before the kids go to bed where they're jumping on the trampoline. They have a friend spending the night. And then I'm going to begin Beneath the Sugar Sky. Hey guys, it is Saturday morning. I read a bunch last night, but I couldn't update because it was dark in the room. So I'm on page 62, of Beneath the Sugar Sky. That put me at 222 pages yesterday, which I am absolutely floored by because I probably haven't read that much in a day in a long time. Like, I take my youngest, I take my child, my second-born, to gymnastics on Saturday mornings, so I have a couple of hours to kill, and I'm going to read some more of this, so I'll check in with you. Hey guys, it's Kristen, and I am about to complete Challenge 7 of the Fantasy Readathon. It is immerse yourself in one of your books, so I am about 50 pages away from finishing the, what's it called? Oh, Beneath the Sugar Sky by Seanan McGuire. So I have my black charcoal and sugar scrub face mask on. Super excited to finish my second book on day 2 and complete my second challenge. So I'm going to go do that, and I will hopefully check in with y'all after the book is done. Hey guys, I am on my 3-hour Mother's Helper break that I get each week. And I was going to use this time to quickly go over how my reading's been so far. I don't know how the sound will be. I usually use a microphone because my phone that I'm recording on is like jacked up for some reason. So I'm hoping that I'm not speaking too loud to try to accommodate for how it sounds. So if it's messed up, I apologize. I have finished 2 books from my TBR, and I am working on my 3rd book, We Set the Dark on Fire. So the first book I finished was Assassin's Blade, which is the 5-novella bind-up for the Throne of Glass series. I loved it. I didn't think I would, because whenever you go back and read a prequel that has happened so, like, in a different part of that character's life, I feel like sometimes it's pointless. I want to know what's happening in their current life with their current character set of friends or whatever. But I really enjoyed it. I feel like I read it in the wrong order. It was written after the 4th book, and I read it after the no, it was written after the third book to be read as the next one, and I read it after the fifth book. So a lot of things in the fifth book that happened were, I would have understood that better had I known that. But I didn't feel like it ruined my reading of the fifth book. And it introduced a character that we've met, but they were dead before the series started, and I had already read a lot of people saying, oh, this became one of my favorite characters after reading the novellas, and I didn't want that because, who wants to fall in love with a character you know is going to die? And I did, and it was so sad, had me in tears. It was Sam Cortland. It was Selena's boyfriend from before the very first book. And I don't know why in my head, but I pictured Jared Padalecki, Sam off Supernatural, as Sam Cortland, and it just made it even harder because he's such a cutie. Okay, so that's the first book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. Later on, I'm going to move on in the series to the 6th book, and that's part of my TBR, so that's where that one stands. The next book I read was the 3rd book in the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire, and it was Beneath the Sugar Sky. I really enjoyed it. I had read a lot of poor reviews from people who I recently started following on BookTube, and I was a little bummed, but I think I just have the ability to enjoy a book and not overanalyze it, and so I enjoyed it. It was good. The first book took place at the school. The second book happened like before the school. It was kind of following a character's backstory, and this book was back at the school in, like, I guess what you would say is present day. And it was really fun. You got to see a world that you hadn't seen before from a character that had already died in the series, so it was unique how they did that. I enjoy the short, quick books. It feels like a dessert, or like a haha with Beneath Sugar Sky, haha on the sugar part. But it feels like just like a small piece of something that you get to enjoy, and then have to wait for the next one. Now, I do already have the 4th book, and I'm glad about that because I will want to read it soon. But the 5th one won't come out until next January, so I'm kind of bummed about that. I enjoyed it. I think I don't know if I've rated it on Goodreads yet, but I will rate it 5 out of 5. And that was my 14th book this year to finish. When I set my Goodreads reading challenge goal, I was like, I don't think this, stamina that I've set so far, reading so many books quickly, will last. So I only gave myself a goal of 15 books for the year, and I will easily finish that this week. So I am only 2 chapters into this, but it, like my friend told me it would, it has like grabbed me so far. It is, it's unique. It has a lot of Hispanic cultural references, and I like it because I'm from Texas, and so I feel like I have a little bit more exposure to that, and it's just, it's unique to see their culture be so prevalent in a book. I really enjoy it. This is my diverse read for the FantasyAthon challenge, so it's living up to its name, or to the challenge I put it to. It's good. I am getting a lot of like Handmaid's Tale vibes of it, because it's about like spousing the women. It's each husband on this island gets 2 wives. One wife to run the household and be like the strong, solid one, and then he gets another wife to raise his family, and she is more the emotional, soft one. There's a part in the very beginning that sets them as like the one side called primas are on one side, and they have to be calm in this emergency and can't show any emotion. And then the other side of the room is the segundas, and they are all crying and like, not to the point of like, making fun of them, but they're just very emotional, very upset. They get to say how tired they are. They get to say how upset they are and how stressed they are, and the other ones don't. So there's a definite, difference between the two types of women. We're following a prima, so we definitely feel like I set myself up a little bit to fail because starting Friday, I read a whole book in Friday. On Saturday I finished a book. Saturday I read an entire book. Yesterday I didn't feel that good, so I didn't have a lot of time to read, and Sundays are kind of busy for us anyway. So I only read 2 chapters of this, and now it's Monday. It's a big homeschool day for us. We have speech outside of the house. One of my daughters has dance. Then we have family dinner plans with my side of the family. Then tomorrow is a busy day for us. We're out of the house most of the day, and I won't have a lot of time to read. Then Wednesday, my husband's off work, and we're doing a family day before we go out of town on Thursday for our vacation, and we want to spend a lot of time with the kids. We're going to go to the zoo, do some other fun stuff, which again, probably won't have that much time to read. So I don't see myself getting another big chunk of time to read until we go on our vacation on Thursday. And we're going to a homeschool conference where, you're pretty much booked watching different speakers and different sets in the conference the whole time. So I do not know how much time I'll have to read during that either, but I'm going to state it. I am going to finish this book. The only other book I have with me, I have a couple more books for the challenge that you saw on my TBR, but I only have this one with me to show you. But this is the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series, Tower of Dawn, and it's a honker. It's got over 600 pages. Let's see, it's got 660 pages, 664. Yeah, 664 pages. So I can almost make that statement that I won't finish it. Sorry, I'm sitting in a parking lot. I just finished lunch. Like I said, on my 3 hours, I get a mother's helper that I get to leave the house and run errands. And my mother-in-law just walked up, so I had to say hi to her out the window, talk to her for a minute. But I will probably not finish Tower of Dawn. Now, I have 3 other books that were on my TBR, City of Ember. I didn't plan on finishing. I planned on keeping up with where my students are in class. Once Upon a River, I just want to get back to it because I haven't picked it up since Christmas time when I got it. My brother-in-law got it for me for Christmas, and I read, Goodreads tells me percentages, so I read 6% of it, and then I put it down. And then the last book is Nightfall. I don't remember who it's by. I borrowed it from my other friend, but it's like a dark, kind of almost horror suspense type book. Again, I want to read a chunk out of each book so I can at least say I did that. But I'll pick up Nightfall at some point just for that. Hey guys, I haven't vlogged in 3 days. I am a bad reading vlogger. Tuesdays are crazy. I didn't think I'd get any reading done, and I really didn't. So I was still trucking through this book. I was about 100 pages into it on Tuesday. Wednesday I read 30 pages. Thursday was yesterday. Yesterday I read a bunch. I stayed up late. We are at a hotel. We are at a homeschool conference, and so I knew I'd have some time to read, so I brought all the rest of my books for the FantasyAthon read-along. So I stayed up late last night. I finished. We set the dark on fire. It was really good. You can tell it's the beginning of a new series because it kind of leaves you on a hanger, and I liked it. I liked the writing style. I mistakenly called the main character a prima in the beginning. She's a primera, first in Spanish. Primera, the other one's a segunda, second in Spanish. So that's this book. I enjoyed it. It's not got any magic in it or anything like that. They do believe in gods and goddesses, so there's that, but there's not a magic system. And the main character is Daniela, and then there's Carmen and Mateo, and they got to figure out this world where husbands have 2 wives, so I suggest reading it. It's pretty good. Next, I plan on picking up, which I've already read about 16 pages of, but City of Ember for my class. I'm supposed to be at page 200 before Tuesday, which is the day after the vlog ends. So that's what my plan is, to get to page 200 before this weekend's over. And then I have my Tower of Dawn, the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series, and that is where I hope to be sometime, hopefully maybe later today, so I have a good 2 days to read it before I have to go back to my mommy job. And then that's where I am. I'll check in with y'all guys later.